What's going on, guys? It's T Jones back with another video today, and we have a little mini Destiny review. Figured it was time to do it. The game's been out for 5 days, so I said, you know what? I'm just gonna jump right into it. So, Prometheus Lens. Curse of Osiris came out on the 5th of December, and the storyline for the game was pretty short. I mean, if I had to give it's multiple problems. Bungie isn't getting off easy, especially with this DLC. This DLC was just a breath of fresh air. We were able to get some stuff done, and we learned some new things. So first off, this is going to be straight spoilers. The whole video is going to be spoilers. So if you don't want to ruin the experience of beating or playing the Curse of Osiris storyline, then you might want to shut it off. In the background, you'll see some Prometheus Lens gameplay, and I started off by saying Prometheus Lens because this actually is the only reason why it's a breath of fresh air. That gun is ridiculous. It melts. People are using it everywhere in all types of different Destiny events, whether it's Crucible or PvE. So I figured I'll jump right into it. So you start off the mission by Ikora, just like in the trailer, telling you that Mercury this and Osiris is that, and she sends you off there. Now when you go to Mercury, you get there, and you start to make your way through it, and then you get to the Infinity Forest, and you find Segura. Well, the storyline is Segura basically bringing you back to Osiris, explaining the Infinity Forest to you, what's going on. Now, the main boss in this his name is Panathes. He's a Hydra with arms. It actually was legit. Like, the boss fight at the end is pretty amazing. I actually enjoyed it. I just didn't think that it wasn't hard enough, and I think that's the problem I'm finding with Destiny, is that the difficulty is gone. So anyway, you make your way through, and somehow you meet up with Osiris. Now Osiris, well, you don't meet up actually with Osiris, you meet up with duplicates. He's created duplicates so he can go through different timelines at multiple times to find different ways, because he's still in the Vex network. Now the Infinity Forest is literally a simulation. Like, everything in there is fake. It's just so the Vex can simulate different stuff. Well, Osiris found a simulation where it basically was doomed to the world. Like, the world is over if this thing happens. And what he determines is that he's tried multiple routes and he hasn't found the way. Now, this is my only problem with the storyline. I kind of knew the storyline was going to be short, but I didn't know it was going to be that predictable. I said to myself, this is what's going to happen, and this is exactly what happened before anything even happened. Once I found out what was the actual the boss and all of that, once I found out who he was and what he was, I kind of guessed the story off and that was my only, to be honest, that's my main gripe with Trials of or Curse of Osiris, not Trials of Osiris. So you go on, and out of nowhere, I forget who it was. I think it was I don't know if it was your ghost. It wasn't your ghost, because Segura kind of takes over your ghost, and she shares your ghost's body, and your ghost actually gets dope. Like, he gets Segura's little, spikes. It looks like the Osiris gear type deal, and it was actually pretty cool. But anyway, you go on, and like I said, this is the part where I kind of guessed it, is that you're gonna go back into the future, or I'm sorry, back into the past, and go back to when Panathes was like created. Well, it kind of takes a turning point once you do that, because Segura gets taken and we all think she's dead by Panatnes, and you have to go and then fight Panatnes. Now, that's pretty much the story. The story is that, like I said, it was real predictable to find out that you got to question it, because Osiris is one of the greatest guardians, or this is how they make him seem, one of the greatest guardians in the game, and he's been disappeared for years, and you know, trying to figure out the Vex in the Vex network, and you telling me little old my guardian comes out of nowhere and figures out the problem in less than 2 hours? Because the campaign for Curse of Osiris is like 2 hours. And 2 hours is kind of being generous. Well, I mean, 2 hours if you don't know what you're doing. If you go in there blind, you can beat the campaign in 2 hours. Now, I'm not surprised about the 2 hours point. Like I said, I'm going to just keep saying this. I'm disappointed in the storyline. The storyline could have been a little better. It was very predictable. Like I said, I think that's my main issue, is that, you know, we talked up Osiris. Osiris was this big ass, he was a big old character in the game, and subtle hints about him everywhere through Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, and out of nowhere we fixed the problem that he's been trying to fix over so many years. So, you know, that was kind of the issue I had there. And another thing, once you beat him, once you beat it, when you get to literally go and explore Mercury, it's only like one, or so far I've only seen one public event, and it's the same. It's a long public event, and the public event actually is pretty cool, but it's only one public event. It'd have been dope if they would you know, brought over some of the other public events over there. Even if they would have brought over some of the other Cabal public events, I would have been okay with that. Or some of the Vex public events, I would have been okay with that. But so far, I've only seen one public event. I haven't seen anything else. Maybe I haven't spent enough time in the on Mercury, and that was that. I guess the next thing we could touch on is the progression. I'm not surprised, because I'm a Destiny 1 player. I was seeing the articles about Destiny locking end-game content. Well, if that's not a surprise to people like me, because I played The Dark Below, I played House of Wolves. That's what they do. That's what they did. They you know, in-game content gets locked because you don't have the DLC. I don't think I have a problem with that too much, because if you didn't buy the DLC, you can't progress any further. So what are you complaining about? You're not going to get the raid, you're not going to get the expansion, none of the stuff in the expansion, and you can't expect to progress because you don't have the DLC. So everything you had everything, you could play the raid. You are able to play the raid, you're just not able to play the prestige mode. The prestige mode is for literally in-game content, and with the new sets of raids now, that'll only keep you at the cap before the DLC. So everybody who didn't buy the DLC will stay at 305, and that's your max light level until you purchase the DLC. Like I said, this is old news for me. I didn't need an article to tell me that. I already knew, because like I said, Destiny 1 player, this is exactly what they did in Destiny 1. So we ended up I ended up getting over that real quick, because that was news because of the new system now, the new light level and all of that. It wasn't a concern to me, because I could have told you that's what they were going to do before the DLC came out if you would have just asked. So yeah, that happened. Now next, the Prometheus lens, I touched on that in the beginning. That gun is outrageous. I can't wait till I'm actually having a lot of fun. I just put it on, jump into the I'm glad they sold it. I put it on, I jump into the Crucible, and I just go ham. I don't care about objectives. I don't care about none of that stuff. I just go and shoot people and try to kill people as fast as I can, and that's that. So I didn't really have this DLC wasn't what we needed. It was just a breath of fresh air. It gave us new content, a lot of stuff to grind for, especially if you're a perfectionist in Destiny. It's a lot of things that you can grind for, a lot of things you can do. What you're gonna need to do though is same thing like when the game first came out, is grind up to max level or the highest cap you can get to with one character and then switch over. I'm not touching no other character until my Warlock gets to a soft cap, if there even is a soft cap, because I haven't seen any videos or people talking about that on Twitter. But other than that, the DLC I could have did without this DLC. I'm not gonna lie. This DLC I would have waited for a major DLC. Now, I'm also talking as if I've played the raid. I haven't played the raid. I've watched the raid, and so far the raid actually looks good. I like the boss fight. The boss fight actually looks pretty interesting, and I'm excited to see what happens in there. Like I said, I haven't played the raid yet, and based off of the Callus raid, the Leviathan, I wasn't excited. And this one actually looks like it could be a little exciting. So it's I guess it's easy for us to talk about the game, especially since we're playing it, but it's harder for people who didn't consume Destiny the way like 1%ers did. You know, the top 1% that beat everything, every aspect in the game, every challenge in the game, do specific other challenges with the game. And like I said, it's easier for us to do. It's easy for us to critique the game rather than other people who aren't the 1% because they haven't consumed it the way we have. Now, granted, the 1%, the casual gamer has all right to feel a certain type of way, but if you're a casual gamer and you don't have the DLC, don't be upset that you can't progress. That's just how it's always been. That's up to you to believe if you believe that that's right or not. I don't have a problem with it because to be honest, if you don't, just like Diablo, just like World of Warcraft, if you don't have the DLCs, or not, I guess I can't really use those games. I think those were free, but just like any other game, if you're playing the game and you're not playing with the DLC, it's kind of it's kind of boring. You kind of don't want to play, and yeah, you're forced to buy the DLC anyway for $20. I guess I'm not really. I was gonna buy it anyway, I guess you could say. So this is coming from somebody that was going to buy the game regardless of what anything, because I'm just a huge Destiny fan. I love this game. I will not refuse to state my point in the game, but you know, so far in Curse of Osiris, it's just a breath of fresh air. It ain't, like I said, I could have did without it. I could have continued playing the regular Destiny and complaining about that, but you know, it is what it is. So that's gonna do it for me. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And also in the description below is my podcast. Me and my brother, we started a podcast, and we're actually on episode 10. If you enjoy podcasts about everything, esports, gaming, politics, social issues, social media, anything like that, anything in those categories, finances, we just did an episode on finances. That was episode 9. If you think you would be interested in anything like that, please give us a listen, and any type of criticism is greatly appreciated. So with that being said, as always, peace out.